And we are back with the Fry Basket. It is now time for winners finals. I am Pat here with Ezio. Ezio, are you ready to watch two of the best teams that we have tonight?
I am super excited. We don't know for sure yet that they're the best two because they're still losers bracket, but for
And they
now
got
they
here.
are the best two.
They got here. The two undefeated teams of the day. And it's going to be Uber versus Vanguard. And look at that. It's seed 1 versus seed number 2. Everything as planned. There's a few unplanned things in losers bracket if you look at the bracket, but right now we have the teams we expected here to be here. And I mean, if you look at the players list, yeah, that's no surprise that these players are coming onto the finals.
Yeah, it's kind of expected when you take a look at these teams. You have Uber, who has like all of the best EU players with Bran from NA, and then Vanguard, one of the best teams I would say currently that's an actual team with Warlock subbing in for Ezra. So switching a shooter for a shooter, really.
Yeah, very much well-oiled machine, great players, and as you said, Vanguard had the benefit of being a team, of practicing together. Yes, they have Warlock subbing in, but they have the perks of a bit more coordination, of having a plan at the ready, of being a bit faster to choose their comp. And we'll see if they're able to use that to their advantage, going against, as you said, some of the best players in Europe and one of the best players in NA.
Yeah, as you can see from Brand's tag, they have Starburst, which is one of those legacy teams that's just like so popular. Like when you think of top level NA team all time, you think of Starburst.
Yeah.
With the domination of the start of S3 and just the end of S2. And speaking of Brand, I want to like talk about some team comps here. What do you think we're going to be seeing from Uber?
I think we can see anything, honestly. I've seen Gray play anything from Absolute Slayer to Absolute Support. And the same goes for like, that's the thing with top level players, is they can adapt, they can switch up weapons. And honestly, given like the yeah, the power that they have, they're on, like, they could play anything and make it work. So I have no idea what they could play. I hope Gray brings the blaster, because that's usually how he plays the best.
Yeah, Blaster's always just a fun weapon to watch too, because it has such high height potential with getting like triple X or like a 180 or something cool for us to squeal about. And on the side of Vanguard, I like the thought of Jacer playing a charger that's not pencil, like ZNF, and then having a Zap come out from Warlock or someone that plays Zap.
Yeah, and that's a thing we've seen a bunch. Like, really, people switching things up, trying over backlines, trying over movement, and changing things, trying to make things work. And yeah, we'll see how players are able to do going on to Hagglefish Market, honestly, which is very much the classic Splatoon 3 map at this point, that we've seen over and over since the game came out. You have so many different strategies that can work, as long as you have the tools to get ahead of the zone, as long as you have the tool to go through these 3 hallways that the map has. You can pretty much bring anything to the table, and I've seen so many different comps do so well on this map.
Yeah, and speaking of pushing past the zone, there's another issue with Hagglefish Market where if you're trying to push too far past the zone, you end up feeding, which I don't expect to see from these two teams, but it's a very common mistake that happens a lot of the time. And it's the same with defense. People push up too far past those stairs, so that's a key point if you want to be holding on to area. It's just those steps on the left side, and some people call it switch as well, but...
Yeah, it's a lot about recognizing where you can go. And it's very much back and forth between the teams, and recognizing where that back and forth is means you can keep yourself alive, but you also need to take as much space as you can within that. And this is the map that embodies that problem the most. This is very much basic splat zones understanding and basic recognition of what the other team's range and ability to splat is.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, it's like the cream of the crop. It's when you think of splat zones only tournaments, you think of a couple maps. Hagglefish is definitely one of them.
Mhm.
And speaking of other maps, there is counterpicks and it is zones only, so we probably will see those other maps like Mahi, like the last set was just on as well.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing about these maps that are classics. They're classics for a reason, because these players, and notably these top players, want to play on it. They're usually the ones choosing this map, and that's why the TOs also put these maps on, because these are the maps the players want to play on. And honestly, if you want to level up, to get better at the video game, play Hagglefish. That's the people I've seen improve at the game would enter as many tournaments as they could, and they would counterpick Hagglefish Market, because this is the map where you can play, where skill is so relevant.
Yeah, and another thing about Hagglefish, it's probably the most like team-oriented map as well for zones, because of the right and left side flanks. They can just happen at any time, really. So you need to be listening to your teammates, and you need to be calling out like, hey, there's someone flanking on this left side here, and then you need to jump them together, but also don't commit too much, because then they can run through the middle of zone. So it's really a fine balance and fine dining of Hagglefish, really.
Yeah, very much. As you said, coordination is key, recognizing things is key, and the game is starting, as let's get right in.
Yeah, and we see a pretty classic comp there from the side of Uber, but not so classic on the side of Vanguard with those dualies and Respawn Punisher actually on that pencil as well.
People have told me that Respawn Punisher pencil was coming. I'm kind of surprised to see it, because that means you can't lose your pencil. Your pencil dying becomes incredibly problematic.
Yeah, we do see Cooler popped on both sides here. Phoenix with that crab trying to get a pick there. 2 go down on the side of Vanguard. Looks to be 3. Phoenix last alive here with that crab tank fighting on this right side. Gets the pick. Phoenix just trying to stay alive here, going for another pick, just trying to live, and Zuka gets popped from Warlock, gets a pick on that Slosher. Here's that steps we're talking about here. Stamper popping Zip, trying to clear out those steps. Booyah coming out as well. All these specials are just happening all at once.
It's not stopping, but Uber is keeping the zone throughout all of this fight. Uber is still painting the zone now. Vanguard doing whatever they can, contest it, and with 2 players down, Uber still keeps the zone, makes a few more points before Vanguard is able to cap and push ahead. Now it's their turn to be in charge of the zone. Let's see how they're able to defend it.
Yeah, Uber is actually on that stagger right now. Warlock just painting for another Zuka, as we see shots do. Booyah gets popped here against that crab tank and strikes. 1 go down on the side of Vanguard, but that's a cooler spawn, so they're back fast here. Flank on the right side goes down. 2 go down on the side of Uber. And it looks like Vanguard is going to try and push past the zone again and get more space. But amazing pick from Gray there on that splash. Crab gets popped from Phoenix, manages to live. Just trying to live even longer. Does go down, and that's 2 down on the side of Vanguard.
And that grab was a bit too panicky. Uber are able to get control of the zone to push in. Ooh, what a crab by Gray right there. Gray is going to be destroyed, though it's not going to work. But everybody from Uber super jumped there. And now the zip casting demon is in, absolutely stopping everything. I mean, Vanguard were able to get to the zone, but they were not able to coordinate much there. And right now, Uber are still in control.
How does Xerath live that? They just jumped in and they're all their teammates were dead, but they somehow manages to live and get back into zone as well. Zuka get popped as well. Phoenix trying to get a flank, doesn't quite get that kill. Gray just trying to pay for those crabs, trying to get the crab out onto that pencil so they can push up here. There's the crab we're talking about on that pencil. Pencil forced to back up. Strikes get popped as well. Phoenix trying to get a pick on Xera's, doesn't quite get it. Booyah on that right side flank though. Trying to throw it at Gray, trying to get that crab to end early. Crab's done. Cooler getting popped as well. It's just a fight for zone now.
Yep, and the fight is still going. Penalty is not applied, and it's recap by Uber. Uber getting more and more are going to get game number 1.
What an intense game from the toppest of levels. Holy, I still can't believe Xera has lived that jump in where 2 of their teammates died and still got the kill on Mikey there.
That jump by Xera's and by the 2 players. One gets punished and the Stamper deals so much damage after that. It's really Uber recognizing that it was worth the risk, because having only 1 player standing on that tent meant that Vanguard could not push forward, could not coordinate anything. Vanguard managed to get the splats off of that, get 2 splats, but they needed to get 3. They needed to do everything to contest that tent before they could do anything else.
Yeah, and we talked about overextending a little bit before, but you may think that was a bit of an overextend from Gray. It actually wasn't, because Gray had that cooler online and had Crab Tank as well, so they were just trying to hold onto that tent, so they just had more and more space to play off of. And then they can get that step/switch a little bit more easily.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, it's really these players taking risks that you shouldn't take if you don't know exactly what you're doing, if you can't recognize the very specific aspect of the situation. Gray knew that with the Tacticular, with the Crab Tank, he could get up there, create damage, get the jumps, and one of these jumps succeeding meant so much benefits for the team, and Uber, thanks to these well-calculated risks, are able to get game number 1. Now, it's only game number 1. We're in a best of 5, and it's on Vanguard to choose a map, and they just chose Macomart. You were talking about classics earlier. Can we get those? Of course, we're going to get those. And given the fact that Vanguard are bringing a blaster to the equation, I'm not that surprised to see them counterpick Mako.
Yeah, Mako's a very good map for blasters and sloshers as well, but I don't think there is actually a slosher on either team, unless we see Gray pull out slosher for some reason, which I'm not really expecting, but Crab's also really good on this map. So honestly, this could be anyone's game, even though it is Vanguard's counterpick.
Yeah, I mean, given how good these teams are, both of these teams, all of these players know these maps, knows everything about this map. They know exactly how to play, what to play, they know what their opponent can do, and they know how to counter that. It's very much how do you feel that day, what do you feel more comfortable right now, how can you adapt to things, and Brown is bringing a slosher.
Okay, so someone is bringing a slosher, just not who we expected, so we're gonna still see Gray on that Splash-O-Matic, and Warlock going back to that shot as well for those Zukas.
Yeah.
Just Cooler being painted on both sides here. Phoenix trying to get some paint onto his zone here. Brand's trying to shark out Warlock. Warlock getting a nice pick on Xera as Phoenix pushing up, getting a nice 2. 3 go down on the side of Vanguard, but Pencil does get another pick, so it's clearly a 2v1 here. Day trying to stay alive, but does get some jump-ins and keeps onto that stack somehow.
Okay, he's still there! How? And right now, Gray activating the Crab Tank and being able to get a few splats with that. But Vanguard is holding the line right now, holding the zone, and that's all thanks to Jazor. Absolutely standing still on that platform and making sure that the rest of the team can get back in. Right now, Vanguard is shredding. They're back in control of the zone, and with no more penalty, they're gonna make points.
Brand getting a nice pick though. This looks like a good flank for Brand, but they do go down to that Zuka dually combo here. Zuka trying to get popped, does go down. 3 go down on the side of Vanguard. It's just Mikey left alive here, and it does go down to Zera's on that left side flank. Zera's just gonna try and play super aggressive here, get more kills, try to cause a stagger, but forced to back up from those bombs. Never mind, they're playing more aggro, but eventually do go down and get caught overextending. But 2 are down on Vanguard as we speak from those strikes. 3 go down!
Oh! Once again, Jay is the last squid standing for Vanguard as Uber is taking more and more control. They have a good lead. And now they activate the cooler right as Vanguard is trying to attack. There's going to be a lot of fights right there. Zera's swinging around with the Zipcaster. Is going to punish Jay, who is running Respawn Punisher. That is so rough, especially with 15 ticks left onto the zone.
Oh my
Uber
God.
is cleaning up right now.
Zeras is just destroying the enemy lines, and it looks like Game 2 is going to Uber. Just from an amazing aggressive feat there from Zeras with that help of Gray with those burst bombs. Just the chip damage was too much for Vanguard to handle.
Uber, they got what they didn't manage to get in game number 1, which is really get in, get forward, and make sure that they get all the momentum. Absolute lock onto this game by Uber. Before this, we were talking about how we thought Vanguard had a good advantage on this map, but Uber looked more dominant there than they did in the first one.
Yeah, Vanguard looked so dominant. It was kind of an opposite of the first game, really. Vanguard looked so dominant at the start and then ended up fizzling out later on. Uber in the first game had a dominant opening, fizzled out, but came back to life. So it's kind of almost a repeat, but Uber ends up winning both games. And it is best of 5, as you mentioned. So we might end the set here, or we might go to game 4.
We might. It's all up to Vanguard, who needs to counter pick, and we're waiting. Oh wait, it just dropped. It's Hammerhead Bridge.
Okay, so we were talking about classic maps. This is not one of them.
I mean,
It's a good map, but it's not the classic you think of.
to be fair, Ezio, we are going back to a map that is very similar to Hagglefish Market. And Vanguard had a better game on Hagglefish. We are going back to a map that is made of lanes, that is quite flat, that is quite open, where you can see your opponent. And we have a dynamic that is similar to Hagglefish. So given what just happened, that's honestly a decent choice for Vanguard.
Yeah, it's a good choice. It's just not what you expect, you know what I mean? It's the new kid on the block, really. It's more becoming popular now because, like you said, it's kind of like Hagglefish Market. And Hagglefish is one of the most beloved zones maps. So you are going to be seeing Hammerhead Bridge more compared to, like, Bluefin, who's another new kid, but you're not really going to see it.
It's Hagglefish, except you have to walk for 10 minutes before you get to the zone.
Exactly. You gotta play the boring part first.
Hey, once you're there, I mean, we saw Jay able to simply stay alive, keep positions for a long time, which means Vanguard will have a super jump spot. On this map, if you have a super jump spot, you're good. It's really going to be dependent on can Vanguard keep Jay alive, or can Uber simply get in again and get the punishing moves. Uber not changing what they do. Vanguard bringing a Rapid Blaster Pro Decker.
It's a very interesting comp on the side of Vanguard, but it can work because it is opening Gambit Rapid Blaster, actually, on the side of Vanguard. Trying to get a pick off opening, but goes down. That's a very unfortunate pick for Vanguard. Zeros does go down. It's one down on both sides, but it looks like Uber's going to take the opening win.
Yep, it looks pretty rough right now. Uber just lost a player, but just lost two. That crab tank is opening things for Vanguard. Now Vanguard needs to get in and get the fight, but Zeras has something to say. Zeras is back to spawn. These two teams are fighting hard, but the zone is not flipped yet.
Yeah, we see Phoenix fighting Gray on this left side. Gray manages to win. That's a crucial pick for Gray. It looks like it's going to go in the favor of Vanguard here. Zera's trying to make an aggressive play, trying to get that pencil we talked about, trying to stay alive. Does not quite get it. Backs up for that cooler, close to Zuka. Goes for the Zuka, tries to get Zera's, doesn't quite get Zera's. Zera's jumping out, and pencil does go down on the side of Uber. That's a very unfortunate pick for Uber.
And right now we're still fighting for mid. Gray is punished and the zone is back in purple. Vanguard making a great job of taking control right there. Now it's all about denying the next push, and with that grab tank they're able to get one already.
Phoenix playing aggressive here, trying to get another pick. Goes a little too greedy. Zeras has that Zipcaster online, going on that left side, trying to get an off angle here. Zipcaster does get popped, trying to go behind them. They're all looking at Zeras. That forces the strikes to come out. Zeras still alive behind them, does recall now. And it looks like just from Zeras going behind them that Uber gets the zone. But Mikey getting 3 directs on Gray but not dying. And now 2 go down on the side of Uber again. Make that 3.
Ooh, it's not stopping, but it looks like Vanguard, despite having penalty applied, are still in some control now. Gray with a crab tank is there to contest that. All of Uber are getting in, and I don't know how they did that. They just took everything right there.
Yeah, Uber is just playing super aggressive, and this is the position for Uber, like Mako Mart, that they want. They have this aggressive positioning. Zeras has the Zipcaster online to force them to look at it. Strikes get popped with that Zipcaster behind them, really far behind them. Unfortunately, falls off the bridge. But it does end up working out for Uber anyway, getting another pick, and it looks like Zone Flip is going to go in the favor of Uber, yes. Zone lead is going in the favor of Uber. Phoenix popping that crab tank. 1 goes down on the side of Uber, but 1 goes down on the side of Vanguard as well. This is the time for Vanguard. They need to push in, get picks. Playing super aggressive here. Do get a pick on, get 2 picks on the side of Vanguard. Vanguard trying to fight for zone. It's just 1 left alive, and Vanguard does not get the zone, and Uber takes the game, takes the set, and is going on to grand finals.
I mean, just like previous game, Vanguard able to get some good control, able to hold the zone even better than they did on Mako. But in the end, once Uber are in the position they want to be, once they get up, once they get there, they simply hold the control, and you have to use all your specials simply to get near the zone. But getting near the zone is not enough given the painting power that Uber has.
Yeah, like you said, the painting power Uber has was kind of the downfall for the side of Vanguard, because they had that double sort of backline-ish with the aggro Rapid Blaster, which on opening seems really good with the opening gamut, but they actually didn't get any value and ended up going down, so that they just kind of wasted a main ability, really.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of the deal when you play Gambit. I mean, it's in the name, you know it's a risk. And right there, Uber really taking control of that, making sure that no risk could happen, and in the end getting a clean 3-0, which means, Ezio, that Uber is now qualified for Grand Finals, and Vanguard will have to go to the loser's side. I guess we're going to watch loser's semis though before. So
are we? I think we are. Hopefully.
Yes, I do think we are. And we're gonna take a short break so we can set up the lobby. Don't go anywhere.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Fry Basket here. I'm still Ezio, and I'm still joined by Pat. Pat, say hi.
Hi, welcome back, and we are now in losers semis. We missed game number 1, unfortunately.
Yeah, Vanguard and what was the other team? Uber were way too good, so we couldn't catch this set, and they just kept it going too long. But we're gonna be starting on game 2, which is a counter pick from Infinite Torp because Infinite Torp is down 0-1 to Mechanomics, and they pick Barnacle and Dime. Yeah,
Barnacle and Dime. We get to see more flat open zones map, Ezio. That's what we get today, and another map that's a classic, honestly.
Yeah, like you said, a classic, and with classics comes the classic comps. We're gonna probably be seeing the classic stuff of like a splash or a shooter with a pencil, and then some other thing that's a midline like slosher or stamper, which comes with it also being a flat map, like you said. And we missed the map that's not very flat.
Yeah, we missed it, but hey, let's get right in there. We have to blame these players. These players always want to play. You let them in the lobby, they start. They don't wait for us. And here's what happens.
Yeah, exactly. And we do see an Octobrush, which was not what I was expecting from Dad Kid, with the Ninja Squid as well. Very interesting comp on the side of Infinite Torps. And it looks like Dante just trying to get some special going. Crab already getting popped from Thunder here. Trying to get a pick on the Slosher, does get a pick. Crab going delayed out on the other side as well.
Ooh.
That bubble going out in front of that Crab tank, preventing the Crab to do anything, and they go down to Synapse, and that is all of them wiped out on the side of Mechanomics.
Perfect team fight by Infinite Torp right there, absolutely taking control over the map, and I mean now they know that they can delay the lead. Synapse simply there to control and forcing Mechanomics to wait a little bit to try to sneak their way through. It's not working, though, as Henlo is defending with that Decapitator. Just 20 ticks left, Ezio, and Mechanomics is finally near the zone.
Yeah, Mechanics are still like staggered here. Thunder just trying to lift to keep that paint. Crab going out, Zipcaster going out as well, and that just looks like game 2 is going straight to Infinite Torps.
I mean, they counterpicked that. Now we know why.
Yeah, exactly. And it's kind of messing with me a little bit because of the colors at the top of the screen, but I believe that was Infinite Torps that won that game, right? I'm not like hallucinating.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Infinite Torp just won this. We are now 1-1.
Yeah, and we did see see a lot of flanks on that left side from the side of Mechanomics, just trying to get something to work, but Henlo was just kind of shirking there and killing them every single time. And same with Thunder, just being alive, providing paint for the entire team, which is really what the side of Infinite Torps really needed, and Mechanomics were really struggling to take down those two threats on the side of Infinite Torps.
Yeah, I feel like Infinite Torp, they had that big team fight that they absolutely won 4-0. And then Mechanomics tried to get in and kind of staggered, but Infinite Torp was there to simply shut down anything Mechanomics did. And Mechanomics trying to send a player to the side, trying to take control here, to be there. Infinite Torp was there to shut it down before it could benefit Mechanomics, and really Infinite Torp maintaining the control, being ahead of Mechanomics on every stage, and that's how you want to play when you're on your counter pick. You want to know all the variations and be ready for them, and Infinite Torp right there showing great control.
Yeah, as you said, it was kind of like, okay, we picked the counter pick, okay, we're winning this counter pick. And speaking of counter picks, we do see the counter pick from Mechanomics, and it's going back to Mako Mart, baby.
Hey, it's the opposite of Barnacle. You can always come back in, and there is much more elevation, cover, and different ways to hide yourself. Given the fact that Mechanomics had trouble coming back in, had trouble sneaking their way through, Mako is honestly the choice to take, because this is the map that allows you to do exactly that.
Yeah, and I can't believe I'm saying this in Fry Basket, which is a bunch of top level teams, but this is a good map for Octobrush.
It is.
So I could see the counter pick being very useful for the side of economics because, like I said, Octobrush is pretty much like Slosher. They also have a Slosher, so that's two really good weapons on this map. This is probably the perfect counter pick for economics, really.
Yeah, they have to go there, and I hope that Octobrush comes back. I mean, if you put the Octobrush on Barnacle, you have to bring it to Mako as well. As you said, this is such a better map for it.
Yeah. And it's Dat Kid that's playing the Octobrush, and Dat Kid plays literally whatever Dat Kid wants. So we might see like a Luna Blaster or something different. Something the complete opposite is extreme. So you never really know what's gonna happen when you have Dat Kid playing on stream, especially. Speaking of comps as well, though, Infinite Torps, I feel like this wouldn't be a detrimental as you think for Infinite Torps because they have that Crab Tank, they have that 52. 52 can just hold a stack so well.
Yeah, I mean, Infinite Torp are bringing the kind of comp that can adapt to anything. The brush is coming back. Let's go.
Yes. No Luna Blaster this time, but that's okay. The same comps from both sides, so it really depends on these mechanic fights, and just the spatial awareness as well. Blur being painted for on both sides. Same with the Crab Tank as well. Thunder just trying to get some paint here. Synapse on that left side, trying to make an aggro play, forced to back up from all that paint from economics. Getting a nice pick on Dante there on that left side, trying to play super aggro, trying to get another pick on this Octobrush. Octobrush forced to back out into that cooler. And does go down, and looks like one down on both sides.
Ooh. Infinite Torp taking control again, able to push forward and get a few more splats. Mechanomics are in trouble right there. It looks like they're really struggling to find their groove against Infinite Torp that has done a lot. But ooh! Huge move by that kid right there, able to take one with the brush. Now that's going to be a zone flip as Mechanomics is getting numbers advantage.
Yeah, it's not over till it's over. Daki with an amazing double there. Cleffa popping that Crab Tank as well to hold more space here. Daki has that Zipcaster still ready. Didn't use it for retake. Popping it now on that pencil. Doesn't quite get it, but it makes enough distraction for two to go down on both sides. Amazing pick from Henlo there with that like 180. Dante on this right side playing super aggressive. Trying to get that splash and trying to get some shooters out, but actually goes down as well, so it looks like the lead's going to flip in the favor of Mechanomics.
Lead flips, but not for long. Infinite Torp is back in control with two players down. Now it's on them to make these points again. Oh, Synapse not able to adapt to the Slosher, is going to be sent back to spawn as Mechanomics this time have no problem pushing.
Amazing pick from Dante there over that ledge. That's what we're talking about. Slosher being so good. Slosher getting two. Slosher doing amazing work here. Trying to go for a third on this right side. Right side actually backs up here. Clef with that Crab trying to get a pick on Henlo. Synapse playing super aggro. Same with Thunder. Clef forced to back out with that Crab Tank. Clef last alive. Gets a trade to go.
And that's Infinite Torp with no penalty left. Eyeing the KO right now. Mechanomics needs to make this next push work, otherwise the game is about to end.
Yeah, Crab Tank being popped from Thunder, but the strikes are getting popped on the side of Mechanomics. Trying to get this paint, but Henlo pops that bubble. Trying to hold a bunch of space here. Paint, fight for mid here. Clef with that Crab Tank, trying to get something to happen. Does get one, but it's too little, too late.
And that is a KO for Mechanomics. Really, it felt like both teams had incredible coordination and mechanics. But with a Slosher and a brush, the ledges were all going the same way. It was always Mechanomics taking control and winning the point.
Yeah, and it was a close game, even though it's 2-1 right now. I feel like it could be. Yeah, Infinite Torps.
Oh,
yeah.
Wait,
Infinite Torps won that game.
Oh, yeah, I'm done.
You're not dumb. It's okay. Mechanomics tried to get a last-ditch effort there with that crab tank, but that also was a downside because they didn't have that splash for paint, which was pretty much their only paint really on the side of Mechanomics because of that Slosher and Octobrush combo. Splash is really the only one left alive to paint other than Pencil, and Pencil, like most chargers, has a charge and downtime. So it takes time, and Pencil can't just keep that paint like Splash did. And Splash does pop Crab, so that prevents them from painting Zone.
Yeah, especially since there's a Pencil on the other side, it's so rough. We saw Mechanomics almost capture the zone around the end thanks to the triple link strikes, but Infinite Torp had the awareness to really be ready for that, not let the strikes fully cap and get that zone back, which allowed them to get the KO, which means that they are now up 2-1 against Mechanomics, and Mechanomics back to the wall. Need to win the next 2 games.
Yeah, as you mentioned with those strikes at the end, Henlon did an amazing job and amazing heads-up play, really, from not popping that bubble until after the strikes were done, because strikes just shred bubbles so quickly, and then after the strikes were popped, they had nothing to deal with that bubble, and it prevented the crab from getting paint onto zone. It prevented a lot of paint from going onto zone at all. And it just won them the game, basically, with Henlo being super aware of them going to have strikes soon. So I'm going to save my bubble until after strikes are popped, so I can just hold on to zone with that bubble.
Honestly, Main Decavitator is reaching a point where not having one on your team is a choice. Not having one on your team is a risk, because the weapon is so good, it can do so much, and Bubbler gives you control over the zone. If you're the owner team with Bubbler, you control the zone whenever you want, which is a huge advantage.
Yeah, especially when you have a decav on the other team, it kind of forces the other team for having a strike weapon like an End Splash or a Slosher, because that's one of the amazing counters for it. But speaking of counters, we have our counter pick from Mechanomics on Mahi Mahi Resort, another flat map.
Yeah, and another huge team fights map. The fact that whole of mid is very flat, you can have your whole team really a 4v4 happening around that zone, and you really need to coordinate that. You really need to pay attention to your left, to your right, and make sure that you keep yourself alive. Some of the best team fights I've ever seen were on Mahi Mahi Resort. I always love to see this map, especially at that level.
Yeah, I love seeing Mahi at top level, like you said, because of the coordination that it requires for just a win, basically. And as well, with talking about Mahi being a coordination-filled map, there's a lot of stuff that can't happen until that water is dropped.
Yeah. The one thing that is not changing, though, is the team comps. We no longer have a brush, though. Instead, we have an extra 52 down Mechanomics. Getting a bit more fighting power off of that, we'll see if they're able to win that team fight.
Yeah, we do see that comp switch is already paying off with the side of Mechanomics getting an amazing opening here. Clef with that crab does get 2 with it. Synapse is left alive on that left side, but they are super weak, forced to jump out. And it looks like that counter pick of that 52 is paying off really well.
Yeah. Mechanomics right there are getting in. Getting to the side, dancing around, able to punish the Decavitator. That's 2 players down onto Infinite Torp. We'll see if they're able to push Synapse, trying to establish themselves ahead as the water drops. Can Infinite Torp get in now?
Yeah, we do see 2 specials getting popped on the side of Infinite Torp, so that's the start you need, and that's a good start getting that pick on Dante. It looks like they're trying to paint zone here with Synapse on this left side. Dakin with that flank, 52 difference, and 2 go down on the side of Infinite Torp. It looks like Mechanomics might have 100 out here, unless Henlo has something to say about it. Last in zone with that bowl being popped, does get that pick. 2 go down on the side of Mechanomics. Henlo saving that game there.
The power of the bubbler on the zone. You get control. Infinite Top saving themselves right there. Are going to live a little longer, but Mechanamics is already throwing all of their specials forward, trying to get in as Infinite Top is making some points.
Yeah, an amazing opening from the side of Mechanamics. So Infinite Torp has a lot to make up for here. Trying to get a pick on that pencil, that would be a huge pick if possible. Pencil's just still living and does actually get a pick as well. And it looks like Synapse trying to get a pick on this Crab Tank. Crab Tank does get one. That's 2 down on the side of Infinite Torps here. Clef being super aggressive on this left side, fighting Synapse. Synapse does go down. Zone gets flipped to the side of Mechanamics.
Yeah, Mechanamics not only have the zone, they have full control. Infinite Top are stuck on their side, waiting for the Tacticular before they drop, as Henlo is activating the bubbler. That bubbler capture the zone with the Crab Tank in it, and now it's cleaning up time.
Yeah, Henlo fighting 2 on this left side. Both get them down to 1 shot, but 52 difference winning that fight. Synapse getting 2 there, still managing to live, and a Crab Tank being wasted on Synapse as well. Synapse doing an amazing job there, baiting specials and getting picks. Clef does get one with that Crab Tank. Synapse trying to get a pick on Clef here. Clef trying to win this 1v1, does get a trade. That's a good trade for the Synapse. And that is 3 down on the side of Mechanamics. It's just the pencil left alive on pretty much both sides.
Yeah, but Infinite Top are now done with their penalty, are looking to paint more. Mechanamics trying to contest it, they don't want to lose the lead, but right now they're losing players. Ooh, that Crab Tank is getting so much, but whoa, he's saving it, but not enough. That kid is down, and that's lead, maybe okay. Oh
my god! And that is game going to Infinite Torps and the set with an amazing dogfight in mid there at the end, trying to just get that paint onto zone. But Crab Tank from Thunder was too much for Mechanamics to handle, and getting 2 at the end was really the game-deciding game. A game-deciding play.
And like Mechanamics almost KO'd within less than 2 minutes of the game. I almost ran away with that game. Infinite Torp staying calm, getting the zone back, applying penalty, and then getting more and more control, getting more and more points. Incredible comeback by Infinite Torp to seal the deal and get to our podium. They are going to losers finals.
Yeah, they're going into losers finals against Vanguard. And I also want to point out that win against those strikes. I don't know how Infinite Torps kept that zone painted, but they are able to. And speaking of able to, we're going to take a short break as we set up our next set right now. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Fry Basket here. I'm still Ezio, Pat is still Pat, and we are going to be seeing a very, very intense set between Vanguard and Infinite Torp here.
Yeah, I mean, these two teams have shown resilience, have shown so many good plays. The one thing that these two teams, the one flaw that both of these teams have is that they both lost to Uber, which means they get to fight each other here in losers finals to see who gets the chance to get a rematch. It's going to be Vanguard and Infinite Torp, and they will start on Robo Roman.
Yeah, and the thing with both of these teams as well is that one's an actual team and one's a pickup of friends. So the team might have an edge because it's a team and you practice consistently, or the group of friends has the edge because they're friends with each other. I'm not saying Vanguard isn't friends with each other, but like, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, these players from Infinite Torp, they're not a team, but they do a lot of pickups together. I think they're half a team, pretty much at this point.
Oh yeah, they gotta be a team at this point. And we do see pretty similar comps from the last sets we've seen with that S-Blast from Mikey and the dualies from Phoenix here. Taps being super aggressive on this left side, trying to get a pick, trying to be an early aggressor. Doesn't quite get something, but 1, 2 go down, 3 go down on the side of Vanguard with that super aggressive play. A wipeout on the side of Vanguard with those super aggressive plays from Synapse and Thunder.
Huge opening by Infinite Torp right now. Now it's on Vanguard to find a way. Mickey already dropping for trying to get the aggro, but all the sub-weapons are coming in to punish things, and Infinite Torp leaving I mean, they don't have tools, but they are throwing these bombs right now and absolutely making Vanguard's life complete hell.
Yeah, Thunder trying to get that crab to end early, doesn't quite get to go. One goes down on the side of Infinite Torps. Everyone's just backing up for that cooler. That makes it so Infinite Torps can hold on to zone. Synapse being super aggro, getting another pick, try to get a third pick onto Mikey. It's just Mikey and Jay left alive. Hello playing super aggressive, tries to get that pick on Pencil, doesn't quite get it. Mikey getting a 180 and staring down like Allen Iverson, and it's just Lexi left alive here on the side of Infinite Torps.
Yeah, Vanguard able to take control now. That crab tank is in a great position to allow Vanguard to hold the line. Can they do as good as a job as Vanguard did, as Infinite Torp did earlier? It looks like Infinite Torp is already pushing forward, and with 2 players down onto Vanguard, the zone is likely to flip soon, unless Mickey has something to say. Oh, well, no Mickey. No Mickey.
Mikey goes down to that crab take from Thunder. Thunder trying to play aggressive, trying to get this pick on this court here. Doesn't quite get it. Trying to take this elbow as well. Just trying to take all these important spots here. Thunder trying to play super aggressive, trying to get a pick with that cooler. Doesn't quite get it, but provides enough attention for Henlo to run in and get 2. Crab getting a nice rollover kill onto Henlo, but they're not going down. I thought they were going down there. They try to get a pick on Synapse. Synapse backing up, doesn't quite go down. Penalty is now over, and Infinite Torps is trying to get into a KO range.
Yeah, the KO is pretty close as Warlock is getting 1, but they need to paint the zone right now. There's less than 10 ticks on there, and there's nobody to paint. Infinite Torp takes game number 1.
The power of friendship prevails, and Infinite Torp does get game 1 with not a convincing fashion, but a pretty good fashion.
Yeah, I'm sure Vanguard are friends. Like, you don't make a team with people you don't like.
I'm not saying they aren't friends, but I'm saying Infinite Torp has probably been friends longer, you know what I mean? It's like saying this friend group, like these people are really close to each other, and Vanguard is obviously friends, but these people are definitely closer as friends compared to Vanguard playing lands and stuff together, because I don't think Vanguard has ever played a land together. And anyway, moving on from that, a very quick counter pick from Vanguard going on to Hammerhead Bridge again.
Ooh, we're back to Hammerhead Bridge. I mean, you said so that it was coming to be more and more popular as a map, to be more and more picked, and I guess you're right. I mean, we'll see how Vanguard are able to do on here. I mean that's what they counterpicked against Uber, and it didn't work that well. We'll see if Mickey brings back the Rapid Blaster Pro with opening Gambit, and if it works this time.
Yeah, variety is the spice of life here, and Hammerhead Bridge being that variety people have been craving, but also being good, which is very hard to balance, but it happens with Hammerhead. And that's why it has been becoming more popular, as you said in the previous set with Uber, that it's kind of like Hagglefish, so people are going to know how to play it and are going to like it, but it's also different because it's a little bit more lenient than Hagglefish. But after that rework, it has become pretty much a staple for high-level play.
Yeah, and we'll see why it is a staple right now. Infinite Torp not really changing what is working right now. Meanwhile, Vanguard are going to bring the Rapid Blaster Pro Deco with opening Gambit once again.
Let's hope it works this time for Mikey instead of going down right off of opening here. They're doing the same opening as well, going up on that left side. Gets a nice direct with that with that dart onto Henlo. Doesn't quite get that pick. Crab Tank already being up from Thunder with that cooler to go as well. Thunder trying to get a pick onto Mikey. Mikey does get one, but it goes down. 3 go down on the side of Infinite Torp. Jay is last alive again with getting pushed from side ups, and side X causes that stagger, and super aggressive from Infinite Torp actually paying off this time.
Yeah, great control by Infinite Torp right there. Doing what they need to do as Vanguard are working to push back to get back. They are on their platform, but they already used their crab time just to be here. Now can they take control? Can they get in? And oh, it doesn't look very good, Ezio.
Yeah, it doesn't look too good for the side of Vanguard. Mikey going down again. Thunder sharking this right side, hoping to get a pick on that Crab Tank. Crab Tank does go up safely though. Thunder does not quite get the pick. Thunder actually goes down as well, but there's only 20 ticks left, Pat.
It's so fast. Infinite Torp are still holding a lot. Henlo is pulled out, but as Henlo is punished, the zone is back in pink. Warlock!
Warlock with that amazing Suka. Oh my god. And they flip the zone back into the favor of Vanguard with that Zuko winning play, and Jay trying to get that pick onto Henlo, and that was the best Zuka I think you could ever think of.
I mean, that Zuka stopped the momentum that Infinite Torp had, allowed Vanguard to really get control of the zone exactly when they needed to. Now, can they hold that control? Can they stay there? A trade is not necessarily the best, but with 2 players down, it looks like Vanguard are going to stay in control with 3 down. Can they get... Oh! They almost got the pencil. That's huge control for Vanguard right here.
Warlock doing an amazing job just holding on to space and getting picks with those Zukas. Warlock fighting Henlo. Henlo does win that fight. It's just Pencil left alive, and that's a wipe, pretty much a wipeout on the side of Vanguard.
Henlo not being punished right there, being able to deploy that bubbler and win the fight means that, I mean, Vanguard had the game, if not for Henlo there. And now Vanguard is back to the drawing board, back to trying to find a push in.
Yeah, both game-saving hero plays on both sides here. Thunder trying to win that Crab Tank duel, does not quite to get to win it because of that Zuka, but still manages to live. Setups on this right side, trying to provide a distraction, gets a trade. That's cooler trades on both sides, keeping that aggro up. Mikey does go down. Zone might go into the favor. Points are almost down.
Vanguard needs to paint, but they don't have the paint right now. They're out of paint. It's so rough. Mickey, last street standing, is going to go down as well, and that's a 2-0 for Infinite Torp.
I forgot the word for penalty there. Just because of how much was going on. Like, there is so much happening there. they had to pay attention to the pencil painting. They had to pay attention to Warlock Zukas. They had to pay attention to crab tanks from both sides. And Henlo or Synapse just running in. There's so much to pay attention to in those scraps. And Infinite Torps was just able to hold on to that just a little bit better than Vanguard. Because as you saw, both teams did go 2 down. But Synapse manages to get a nice pick and win.
Yeah, and both teams were running forward, getting to really push their opponents as much as they could, create as much pressure as they could. And as you said, in the end, Infinite Torp able to mix things up a bit more, to create more chaos, but Vanguard was not able to follow, was not able to really catch up to what Infinite Torp was doing. And again, I'm so impressed by what Henlo did just right there. Absolutely getting in, getting control. Even when Henlo was getting punished, Infinite Torp was getting control over the map thanks to these moves.
Yeah, both sides had a hero play, and they both ended up saving the game at one point or another during that game. And I'm gonna segue us back to that ending there. The picks were just more important for Infinite Torp. They got the painters down, which is super important for splat zones because, you need to paint the zone. So getting the picks onto the actual main painters on Vanguard, especially when the last people left alive are a Rapid Blaster and a Shot against a 52 and a Pencil. The 52 and the Pencil are always going to outpaint that every time.
As you...
Oh.
Counter pick dropped.
This is like Nintendo's map pool. Like, why are we... Okay, never mind. Scorch Gorge splat zones. They heard us talking about flat maps and they didn't want us to talk about flat maps anymore, I guess.
Hey, this is a good map for Blaster.
Oh yeah,
this
for sure.
Is a good map for the Rapid Pro. If that's the plan by Vanguard to really make their Blaster work, this is the map to go. This is the map to take.
Yeah, and
what a map.
Yeah. Another thing with Scorch as well is that no one plays this map. At least competitively and at a high level. So if you know how to play with it, you can really get the edge on your opponent.
And this is where being a team pays off. Because as a team, you practice this together. You have a plan for this. Now let's see if Vanguard are able to create the surprise. Infinite Torp, unfazed, not changing. And Mickey is bringing a custom blaster.
Yeah, that Splashdown's gonna be... Yeah, Splashdown's gonna be really good under those ledges and from top mid as well. So I think that Splashdown was a very good pick, and Thunder is just trying to pay for crab as usual. But Warlock actually does go down on opening. Mikey trying to get a pick, gets one tap, doesn't quite get the other, does get a direct onto one though. Phoenix lasts alive into that mid, forced to jump out, actually goes down instead. Henlo just providing a bunch of pressure here, and Infinite Torp actually wins the opening again.
Yeah, and Henlo with a huge big bubbler on this grate is going to be punished, but attracted so much fire from Vanguard. Vanguard now trying to find a way in. Not able to find the splats with Bazooka, that's going to cost them. They're at least able to drop and get some control. With a few players down, they should take the zone now.
Yeah, Pencil does go down, which is a lot of paint for the side of Infinite Torp, but they actually managed to hold on to that zone with a crab tank from Thunder, getting them to back up. Thunder getting another pick. Pencil last painting that zone here. Mikey on this left side does go down to Thunder. Thunder winning some crucial picks here. Warlock trying to get a pick, doesn't quite get it. Henlo and Pencil left alive for zone, and it looks like Zone might go into the favor. Infinite Torp might win the game. Phoenix having to play super aggressive here. They have to paint zone. They have to do something. Splash out from Mikey does get two and provides the game-changing win that they needed.
It is not over. Vanguard are in this game, and now with a crab tank deep in there, Vanguard is in position to make the points. Can Infinite Torp push them away? It's I mean, Okay, they're able to drop them out, but now they're the ones that need to paint the zone when it's full purple. And
Yeah,
that's no problem.
Yeah, they got it down to 50, but that's not enough. 2 on the side of Infinite Torp, but a lot of penalties still to go. And Cooler does get popped, providing that super aggressive play, but Mikey Sharking gets another pick. They have a Cooler spawn as well. Phoenix trying to set up a crab top mid, doesn't quite get that setup. Warlock last alive here, forced to jump out. Pencil goes down as well. This looks like Infinite Torp is just causing a super bad stagger, but Warlock pops that. Zuka does get an amazing pick on one of the painters, but Mikey goes down again. But two go down on the side of Infinite Torp. It's just the Pencil and Splash left alive. Pen last alive now. Henlo trying to get a pick on that bottom left, doesn't quite get it. Thunder trying to get another pick, doesn't quite get it as well. Forced to back up and jump out.
Yeah, that is a bit of breathing space now for Vanguard, but they need to hold that zone. They were not able to get past the 50 points mark despite getting to the platform earlier. Now they need to hold that zone. There's 2 minutes left in the game and they lost 2 players. Infinite Torp simply pushing forward wherever they want.
Yeah, Infinite Torp's doing an amazing job just out-mechanicking Vanguard pretty much. Thunder knows there's that someone on that right side, and they do get that pick, and that is 2 down on the side of Vanguard, and only 30 penalties, same penalty as Vanguard actually. So Pen does get an amazing pick on that crab take, shutting down that crab take from top mid there. The Cooler getting popped on the side of Vanguard. They need to play aggro with that. Warlock gets a nice pick, trying to get that Zuka, trying to get that Pencil out of there. Trying to pop that Zuka, does pop that Zuka, doesn't quite get the Pencil. Pencil still left alive here, and it looks like Vanguard is trying to get onto that zone, but does not quite get it yet, and they're just about to get it. Still don't have it. Still holding on for dear life from Infinite Torp. No penalty applied.
That's so rough right now. Vanguard really needs to paint that zone. The crab tank and the splashdown are winning the fight and getting finally that zone. But we're back to square one for Vanguard. They need to hold it and they only have 1 minute left, Ezio.
Oh, but Pencil goes down. 2 go down from Synapse. They're amazing picks from Synapse. But that Zuka from Warlock winning a lot of the games gets 2. Gets both of their shooters as well. Mikey does go down though. Henlo playing super aggressive, does get that pick on Warlock. That is a crucial pick for Henlo. Henlo does go down though. Phoenix last alive into that zone. Pops that crab tank, trying to get the zone back into their favor. They need it back in their favor. Pencil getting a nice headshot there. Doesn't quite get the pick though. Crab going out from Thunder as well. Phoenix trying to play on this right side. Super aggressive. Phoenix trying to play super aggro. Does get that trade onto Synapse.
And we get more and more fight with 2 players down. Vanguard are trying to hold the zone, but it's going to be pretty rough. 10 seconds left in the game. Mickey trades in a splashdown. You don't want to trade right now. Vanguard fighting all they can, but they need to paint the zone if they want overtime. They don't have the zone, Ezio.
They the zone in time, and that is the downfall of Scorched Gorge. Their counter pick ended the set for them.
Yeah.
The downfall of them was not being able to paint the zone at the end, and Scorched Gorge is notorious for that.
I mean, as you said, Infinite Torp were winning the fights, had such mechanical prowess throughout these games, and Warlock managed to have incredible Zukas in this set, but in the end, there was a constant stream of Synapse and Henlo and Thunder running forward, winning fights, dancing around their opponent, and hitting every shot.
Yeah, like, it's so crucial to win your fights. Like, if you're coordinated, that's cool, but if you don't win the fights, you just don't win the game. And before the set started, me and Pat made a little prediction. We said Vanguard was going to win this, and I don't think our prediction turned out.
Yep. Hey, we were wrong. That's why we're guesters and not coaches.
Exactly. Yeah, imagine talking as a coach beforehand. Hey, you guys are probably gonna lose, but like still play anyway. Like, but that's the set going to Infinite Torp, and then now they're going to be playing the grand finals against Uber.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough one. They lost previously, but they're coming strong. They have a lot of momentum. We'll see how they're able to do right after this very short break as we set up the lobby. And welcome back. It is now time for the grand finals of Fry Basket 16. Two teams are left in this tournament. It's going to be Uber versus Infinite Torp. I am Pat, still with Ezio, ready to watch these two giants face each other.
And the Giants are already facing, as we can see, pretty much regular comps from both sides, stuff we have seen, and I didn't get to mention it, but we're playing on Inkblot.
Yeah, we're playing on Inkblot. It's we haven't seen this one today, despite being another classic of this one is all classic maps. I'm just realizing actually.
Yeah, Splat Zones is just a classic mode overall. Thunder on this right side, trying to get a nice pick onto that slot. He doesn't quite get it. Zera's forcing them to back out. Thunder getting a nice direct on that burst bomb. Does get one with it actually. Thunder trying to fight this slosher on this right side, doesn't quite get it. Decaf popping that bubble as well, trying to get that slosher out of here. Slosher still living with that flank from Gray. Synapse getting a nice pick onto that Zera is there. That's 2 down on the side of Uber.
Yeah, and that's the zone for Infinite Torp. Uber already answering, bring the strikes, trying to control the base and get back onto the zone they're in. And Infinite Torp moving around, activating the crafting to delay things, but Zera's getting the splat on to the pencil and
My God!
the zip cast.
Xerath is probably the best person in Splatoon history. Like, let's be real here. Xerath is getting amazing picks there, is still managing to live and is still alive. Grave pinning for another crab tank to assist Xerath on the left side, but goes down to Decap. And as we're speaking of Xerath, Infinite Torps actually switches the zone lead to their favor.
Yep. Yeah, they're holding that zone. Greg back with a crab tank trying to get a few splat, not able to get it though, and still fighting against Henlo on the side. Henlo moving in, finally tamed. It's going to be Uber taking control over the zone, applying penalty now, looking to get some control. And
My God, Xerath is just destroying their back lines and just destroying them. Xerath is popping zipcasters and getting picks, but as we say that, 4 go down on the side of Uber. Amazing picks from Synapse. They're causing Uber to actually get a wipeout and completely lose control of their plot.
I mean, the second that zipcaster is over, Infinite Top goes back to winning more fights, getting in and winning. What moves right there. Uber are struggling to get their own platform, but crab tank is so far away from the zone right there, as Infinite Top is still dancing, trying to keep control. But here comes Xerath.
Xerath, as usual, here comes the monster, getting a nice pick onto Thunder. But penalty's almost over. Penalty is now over. There's only 10 ticks left on the side of Infinite Torps. Xerath's clutching up, getting another pick. Thunder last alive does go down, and that's zone flip for Uber.
Oh, but 2 down again onto Uber. Infinite Top are going to move forward once more, looking to get a bit more. They're not able to get the zone yet.
3 go down on the side of Infinite Torp, and this is finally the push that Uber needs. They're being aggressive, but Pencil's actually forcing that splash to back up. Pen 1v1 causes the distraction enough for the Stamper to go down on that right side. Pen getting an amazing pick on that splash, but those are cooler spawns, so they will be back. Synapse fighting Xerath. It's on this right side. This needs to be one for Synapse. Synapse does win that fight, and Bubble does go up, and they get zone back.
And that is more control for Infinite Top, now looking to... They lose their crab! What moves right now as Uber gets back onto the zone. It's non-stop action. Xerath is going to get the jump and punish once more. Traded with Synapse right there to give the whole map is for Uber right now.
There's with the amazing triple, which causes the lead flip, and might be a very close game here because penalty is almost over, and Xerath still has that zipcaster online, does get that recall, but Synapse and Hello now making it easy, getting an amazing trade from the side of Uber, but zone flips back to the side of Infinite Torp's favor, right on this right side, fighting Synapse. Synapse wins that fight, very crucial fight win for Synapse. Synapse on this left side trying to get a pick as well to cause a stagger. Thunder with that crab tank trying to get Gray, so they don't have crab tank as well. Pen trying to get Thunder, does not quite get Thunder. Thunder still last alive here.
Just a few seconds left in this game as Infinite Top is still in the lead. Uber desperately trying to paint, desperately trying to get in, but is it too late? They're able to neutralize, but not to cap.
1 tick remaining. I thought we might have seen a zone flip there, but Infinite Torp was able to hold on. Not quite getting the KO, but pretty darn close to it.
And Infinite Top was going pedal to the metal, absolutely not stopping, getting in for the fight. Uber answering the call. These two teams were simply running at each other, fighting over and over, but in the end, Infinite Top, they were able to hold the zone longer. They were able to really have these several times long holds onto the zone that almost gave them the KO.
Yeah, Xerath was doing an amazing job winning like 1v2s and 1v3s, but they weren't paying off much because Xerath is actually fighting on like these left sides and right sides that aren't actually close to the zone. So the picks aren't painting the zone, and they're just Infinite Torps is just able to hold onto zone, which is really what matters because it is splat zones.
Yep.
And speaking of splat zones, we are going to Splat Zones Mahi Mahi Resort.
Yeah, and pretty much instant counter pick by Uber, and I guess everybody pressed A because we don't see any change in weapons. That means we get to see the game right away.
Yeah, don't give us time to rest here. We do see Thunder going for another Crab Tank off of opening. Synapse playing aggro on this right side. Two go down on the side of Infinite Torp. Amazing opening from Uber. Uber trying to get another pick onto Synapse. Synapse barely living with that bomb. Brand trying to get Synapse out of here. Synapse still alive, does go down. And that's not very good for Infinite Torps because of that stagger. Brand getting another one. Brand being super aggro, and that's 3 down on the side of Infinite Torps, just Pen left alive.
And very nice jump away as Zeraz is in control of that platform right there. Water is going to drop as Uber is still in a control. Infinite Torp now by the zone with a bubbler. Calling the strikes, of course. And they applied penalty, but the zone is still orange, Ezio.
Yeah, the zone is still orange, and everywhere is orange. Perez saying, hello, Thunder. I'm going to kill you now. Thunder going down and causing another stagger. And it looks like Uber is taking complete control of this map in general.
I mean, it's still about... Game 1 was very much Infinite Torp playing off the fact that they would run forward and win the fight. Infinite Torp now are dealing with an Uber that is ready for this fight, that is waiting for them. And that is holding that zone still 3v2. Can Infinite Torp apply penalty? They're in trouble right now.
Yeah, Zeraz poking on this right side. Henlo having to play aggro. Does get the pick on the Zeraz. That's a huge pick. Henlo playing super aggro. Dies in zone 2. Go down on the side of Uber. This is a pain fight. Synapse does go down as well to Brand. Brand trying to keep paint here. Pencil painting from both sides. Brand still able to keep the paint. Zone does flip to the side of Infinite Torps. And 2 go down on the game.
Bran was so close to getting tripling strikes, and if Bran gets tripling strikes right there, that was KO for Uber. Infinite Torp dodging a bullet right there, able to apply penalty, but look at that, the zone is orange again. Uber still in control with numbers advantage.
Yeah, Uber is doing an amazing job just holding on to the space they have and slowly moving up with that space because of Infinite Torp playing super aggro. Crab being popped from Gray, getting a bunch of pop shots onto Thunder and to that Pen. Not quite getting anything though. It does get one actually on Synapse on that right side. Hello popping that bubble, trying to flip zone back to Infinite Torp's favor. Still haven't got the zone back. The strikes do go out. The Zipcaster does go out. And that is 2 down on the side of Infinite Torps, but Infinite Torps were able to get that cap.
I mean, another cap by Infinite Torp, but another instant recap by Uber. What control of the map by Uber right there. Infinite Torp struggling to stay on the map, has another Crab Tank is deployed. Both teams bringing the Crab Tank. It looks like Thunder has a bit more DPS and is going to push Gray away, but that's not enough, Ezio. We're almost done with the penalty of the game.
Yeah, 10 seconds left on that zone, and 2 are down already and have both the painters left alive, but Pen's keeping painted zone does not quite get that lead flip, and that game goes to Uber.
And, I mean, again, that's how you counterpick.
Yeah.
That's, you counterpick when you know that you're going to have better fights, when you know that the qualities that you have at the moment will pay off. Both of these teams, all 8 of these players know this map, absolutely have played this map over, but Uber really identified that they had a bit better team coordination, were able to profit from that and get better team fights.
Yeah, like you said, that's how you do a counterpick. You counterpick what you're gonna win. And we saw that with a very interesting counterpick for Scorch Gorge, but last set, but they didn't quite get the win. But it's counterpicking what you think is working best for you, and not what is the best overall. Because I might be really good at Scorch Gorge zones, but Mahi is the best overall zones map. but I'm going to pick Scorch Gorge because Scorch Gorge is better for my team.
Yeah, exactly. And right now we'll see if Infinite Top is able to tip the scale the other way. We're going to Barnacle and Dime. That's a map where Infinite Top, that's the map that they counterpicked last time we saw them counterpick. And they really took control of that map against their opponent at the time. I can't remember who it was, but this time it's against Uber. We'll see if they're able to take that kind of control.
Yeah, it was against Mechanomics.
Oh,
And another theme with Barnacle and Dime is that playing aggro on opening is very beneficial for you because it's a very lockout heavy map. So that really does play into the favor of Infinite Torp because Infinite Torp has been playing super aggro this entire tournament really. Yeah. So this is really going to benefit them.
Yeah. But Uber right now they know the deal. They know the plan that Infinite Torp has. Can they stop them in their track? We'll see. No change in terms of composition, and I expect these grab tanks to be key in allowing one team or the other to take control of the mid.
Yeah, Crab Tank being the deciding factor is always a factor here. Amazing kill onto Zeras. That's a great pick off start, and Thunder with that Crab Tank fighting Gray. Gray forced to go into ball form, and as we said, they're playing super aggro, and it's working. 2 go down, 3 go down on the side of Uber. Synapse getting an amazing triple, just Pencil left alive.
It's non-stop fight, of course, but Uber able to keep themselves there thanks to their Pencil. They still have a foot right there, but they are forcing the opening strike, and they're past the points mark. Can Uber get in? They already lost their splash.
Yeah, this is the lockout we were talking about. Synapse somehow living. How do you live that? Somehow living that slosher. And Zera's popping that Zipcaster, forcing the crab to go into ball form, but 2 go down as the Zipcaster is popped. It's just Zipcaster and Pen left alive. Only 15 ticks left to zone, 10 ticks left to zone. Crab Tank from Gray though, but Zera does go down, but 2 go down on the side of Infinite Torp. It just needs to be Pain here. Infinite Torp just trying to keep Pain Brand playing super aggro, not letting them. And Pain, Synapse getting 2 though. 2 go down on both sides. It's just a Pain for fight for Pain. Thunder getting an amazing pick. Pain getting another pick. That is 2-3 down on the side of Uber, and Infinite Torp winning that dogfight and winning that game.
What a win right there. Uber failed to do anything. It was really Infinite Torp taking even more control that Uber had. I guess both of these teams know how to counterpick.
Infinite Torp was taking infinite pressure and control from that opening. As we mentioned, playing super aggro on opening wins the game and wins the they won because of that super aggro.
Yeah.
Uber didn't have a single tick onto zone because they just won opening and then won the game. And speaking of winning sets and games, they need to win one more, and then we're going to a bracket reset if they win one more.
Yeah, because as a reminder, Uber beat Infinite Torp in when they met in semifinals, and they beat them 3-0 as well. Now we're going on to Manta Maria. I love double maps, double zones map, because they bring such a different dynamic to the game. We'll see if that dynamic is beneficial to Uber.
Yeah, Pencil's not too strong on this map because, like you said, of that double zone, and Pencil doesn't have as much sight lines. But this is a really good map for shooters. As you can see, Synapse fighting Zeras on the right side. Doesn't get that pick. Synapse getting amazing movement here. Henlo playing super aggro, trying to get another pick on that Pencil. And that is 2 down on the side of Uber off of opening. Maybe 3... Yes, 3 down.
Yep, and that's control for Infinite Torp playing off of the momentum that they have right now, looking to get a bit more as Uber is not really able to get back onto the zones.
Yeah, Infinite Torp playing super aggro, not paying off and actually starting a stagger, but Uber has 101 points to go through here, but Zera's popping that Zipcaster, really chasing that pen, does not want that pen to have any space. And 2 go down on the side of Infinite Torp, basically a wipe because of having to jump out.
Yeah, and right now, ooh, it's Synapse getting in there, getting the points. Uber is able to flip the zone, get the lead, but Infinite Torp is already back on the action handler, activating the bubbler. That bubbler is going to give a lot of control, but 2 players went down on Infinite Torp. It looks like Uber are getting more and more control as the game goes by.
Yeah, Henlo tried to pop bubble to keep space, but Gray just had that crab cake at the ready with that DPS ready, shredded that bubble, and 2 are down on Infinite Torp. Amazing stagger for Uber. And this looks like Pen's almost going down as well. Does not quite go down. Brand popping those strikes. And that means Henlo can pop a safe bubbler here.
Yeah, it's going to be very rough. 20 ticks left onto the zone. Uber looking to get to a game 5 right now. Just 10 ticks left. One of the zones is capped, but Gray is there to pay. That's going to be so rough. Every special is used by Infinite Torp. Can they apply penalty?
Brand having to have a dogfight with Thunder. Thunder trying to stay alive. That paint does go down to that Pencil. Pencil trying to keep paint on his zone. It's just a Pencil left alive on the side of Infinite Torp. Pencil keeping zone paint though, and does not quite get that zone. And Uber takes game 4.
Which means, Ezio, that we are now going to a decisive game. If Uber wins this, they are your Fright Basket winners. If Infinite Torp wins this, we get to a bracket reset. We get to see more of this awesome tournament.
Yeah, but we could have seen all their fries in one basket with their counter pick of Barnacle and Dime, so we might have to improvise here and go for a little bit more of a, yes, it's favorable for us, but it's also favorable for them.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you always counterpick your best counterpick first because you expect it to be the only one, so might as well win it. Now Infinite Torp needs to find something else. Hey, they have at least the counterpick advantage. They get to choose the map for this decisive game, for what could decide their tournament life.
Yeah, and this is pressure. Pressure is on now for Infinite Torps because if they lose, their tournament runs over. The tournament's done. We're packing up. Uber wins. If Uber loses, they have a whole other best of 5 to do. The pressure is not that heavy, but they still like to not have that chance of losing in bracket reset.
Yeah. I mean, one game at a time. We'll see how it goes. For sure, there's a lot of pressure onto Infinite Torp, and it looks like this time they're taking their time to counterpick. We had teams pick the map pretty fast. Oh, and finally they get Robo Roman to go with, and honestly, they were able again to play so fast and so well on Robo Roman when they played against Vanguard. So good choice.
Yeah, this is another map where playing aggro on opening really benefits you, but you can still get back in, unlike Barnacle where it's very hard to get back in. Robo, you can get back in, and we saw that, like you said, with Vanguard versus Infinite Torps. So I'm hoping to see a bracket reset here with a very convincing Game 5 going to the side of Infinite Torp.
Yep, we'll see. Honestly, these two teams have shown so much prowess and so much skill that anything could happen. So far, neither team has been able to beat the other on their counterpick, though. So we'll see how they're able to do what Robo Romans brings to us. And it looks like the teams are taking their time choosing the weapons as well. Or are they just discussing strategy before pressing A?
Yeah, you always gotta have a strategy going into opening, especially if your whole game plan is having to win opening.
Yep.
But the comps are still the same.
Yep.
So it's definitely the game plan. Weapons are not being switched.
Yep.
Thunder is still doing the classic paint for crab off opening with Synapse playing super aggressive. Synapse is still playing super aggressive on that left side, trying to get a pick onto Brand. Doesn't quite get it. Might go down to Brand here. Not quite. Synapse still living. Cooler does get popped. Crab does get popped. is going to get popped, sorry. Does get popped. Trying to shred Gray. The crabs just trade each other out, kind of nulling each other's crabs.
Yep.
Brand's stuck on this bottom left, forced to jump out, and Zone is going to go into Infinite Torp's favor on opening.
Yeah, Infinite Torp still in control over that zone, but not for long. I mean, Uber are on there, getting so much control, but it's not done. Oh wait, 2 players just went down. Make that 3. Synapse is the last standing for Infinite Torp, just dancing around. It's not enough, and Uber in yellow are in control.
Cyrus was able to get a Zipcaster cancel with Killer Whale somehow, but it provided them to be able to hold onto their ally a little bit longer with Zera's not having that Zipcaster online. But as we say that, 2 go down and Zipcaster is online again. So this looks like a very favorable position for Uber as Zipcaster does not get anyone but gets a lot of aggro and damage onto them. Henlo going down to the bottom left, forced to bottom left, does get taken down. Synapse having to play super aggro, getting a pick onto Zera's. That's the pick you need to win this game.
Yep. Yeah, Synapse dancing forward, getting 1 pick on the bucket, but they need to paint the zone right now. They have all their players on the zone and they're able to apply penalty. The game is still going, but Uber is going to jump back in. They already have the cooler ready and they're already contesting the zone again. A Crab Tank plus Bubbler will allow Infinite Torp to take some control, to breathe a little bit, but it's very much more and more pressure.
Very good pick from Thunder there onto Brand with that Crab Tank lob shot. But as we speak of Crab, Gray getting a nice pick onto Henlo there. Gray just trying to keep that paint up so they can have Zerez and Brand move up off of that. Whale does get popped from the side of, not Uber, on the side of Infinite Torps there. Synapse trying to take a fight on that left side. Brand does manage to win that fight. Zerez getting a trade onto Thunder. Henlo does go down to Pencil. And this looks like a very dominant push for Uber.
Yeah, I mean, Uber still holding, not able to hold the zone though. Thunder capping it with the crab is going to apply a little bit of penalty, which Uber is happy with. They're already taking it back and now it's their turn to use their special. Oh my god!
Zera is being super aggro with that Zipcaster and it's paying off, taking out that Pencil, which is a lot of Infinite Torp's paint here. Henlo getting a nice pick onto Zerez. That's the pick you need. We need to play off of aggro for this. Henlo getting a nice paint there for that zone. Crab Tank being popped from Thunder. This is aggro. We need to play aggro off of this here. Henlo trying to play aggro, waiting for the Cooler though. Cooler does get popped on both sides. Crab Tank being popped from Gray. Trying to get a pick onto Synapse. Synapse does manage to live, but 2 go down on the side of Infinite Torps.
Yeah, and it is Uber back in control. They still have the lead. They still have so many points. They're only a minute and a half left in the game. Uber throwing the strikes. They want to hold that zone. It's neutralized, but it's not captured. Infinite Torp needs to paint right now. They need to take fast.
Yeah, Thunder trying to get something to happen with that Crab Tank here. Zerez, probably that Zipcaster does get Thunder. Tries to get a second, does get a second. Zerez trying to get another pick on the Synapse, trying to get third, does not quite get a Synapse left alive here. It's just two down on the side of Uber, and Uber needs to hold on to his zone to win this. They need to play aggro. Infinite Torps tries to play aggro, does get that zone, trying to get that lead flip, does not quite get it. Uber wins the game, wins the set, and the tournament.
What a game by Uber. I mean, Infinite Torp were there, were in the fight. But it looked like every time the game felt even, every time we were in neutral, Uber were in control of the zones. Both teams were fighting over the zone, but the zone was yellow. Uber kept control over and over, despite all the moves that Infinite Torp was able to pull.
Yeah, they were playing super amazing from the side of Uber, just holding on to his paint. And that's really crucial on Robo, especially when you have a Stamper who wants to play aggro and go in. And that just caused them to win, having amazing paint and having Gray stay alive. And that won them the tournament, pretty much.
Yeah. Also, one thing we need to say, Zeros. How'd you survive that? You're not supposed to survive all that. That's
Like, yeah.
absolutely crazy.
Xerath is probably the best stamper in the West. Not probably, is. Xerath
Yeah.
is the best stamper in the West. And it's not even close.
Yeah.
Like, Xerath was so good that set. Pretty much the entire tournament. Just playing super aggro and knowing when to take fights, when not to take fights, and winning fights that they shouldn't have won.
Yeah. And winning enough fights to win the tournament, which means, Ezio, it's time for us to say goodbye. And before we go, where can I find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter at Ezio_SPL or a Blue Sky at EzioSPL.bsky. And Pat, where can the lovely people on the internet find you on the internet?
You can find me at PajeoTom on Blue Sky. If you add some underscores, you can also find me on Twitch, where I stream sometimes, even though I've taken a break for the holiday and haven't come back. But I intend to stream soon. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And thanks again to the show and Pride Basket for having us. These tournaments are always a wonder to watch.
Yeah, amazing job from TOs and streamers. I also want to shout out our streamer tacos because streamers don't get enough recognition.
Yes.
And same with TOs, like Blue Kid doing an amazing job with this tournament, being consistent with it. And that's all from us, I think.
Yes, it is. Thank you for having us. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.